I'm Dustin Saldarriaga with Scott Legal PC in New York City. And in this video, we're continuing our series on the TN Visa by focusing on the Economist job category. The TN Visa is one of the most popular visa options for Canadian and Mexican professionals to enter the US to work for an employer here. Those who receive a TN Visa can remain in the US for up to 3 years at a time while working for the employer, and there's no limit to the number of times they can renew their TN Visa as long as they remain eligible. As we've covered in detail in our previous videos on the TN Visa, the visa is only available for those in certain professions, and the educational and professional qualifications are different for each profession. Those applying for a TN Visa in the Economist category must have a baccalaureate degree. There is no option to qualify based on experience alone. Like the Management Consultant job category, which we covered in a separate video, the Economist category is also closely scrutinized by border officers and is particularly challenging to receive an approval on. That being said, there are ways you can improve your odds of being approved, and we'll share a few of these tips with you today. Now, one of the reasons why the Economist category is particularly difficult is that in 2017, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, issued guidance that specifically instructed officers to narrowly interpret who qualifies for the job category. Keep in mind that when you're applying for a TN Visa, the border officer won't simply look at what your job title is. Instead, they'll look at what your actual job duties are. The government's 2017 guidance made this especially clear. Specifically, the guidance said that those applying for a TN Visa in the Economist category cannot primarily perform the job duties of other professions, namely financial analysts, market research analysts, and marketing specialists. So let's take a look at what USCIS thinks economists applying for a TN Visa should be doing, and how those contrast to the job duties of financial analysts, market research analysts, and marketing specialists. The two key resources to look at when figuring out how the government defines a job and its job duties are the Occupational Outlook Handbook and ONET, which we'll link to below. Those who are applying for a TN Visa as an economist should make sure that their job duties are consistent with how USCIS defines the role. Specifically, USCIS emphasizes that economists should specialize in either microeconomics or macroeconomics, meaning that they should either study the impact of supply and demand on the behavior of individuals or firms, or they should study the impact of economic indicators on broader sectors of the economy. Economists can provide economic analysis to various fields, from international trade and development to health and education. Their job duties should include conducting research, preparing reports, or developing plans to address economic problems related to either the production and distribution of goods or monetary and fiscal policy. So those are the job duties that USCIS believes an economist should do, and that are appropriate for a TN Visa in the Economist category. Now let's turn to those job duties that would not fall within the scope of the Economist job category, those of financial analysts, market research analysts, and marketing specialists. When it comes to financial analysts, who again will not be approved under the Economist job category, USCIS defines their job duties as primarily conducting quantitative analyses of information affecting investment programs of either public or private institutions. In other words, their job is to find opportunities to commit money for the purpose of generating profits. The job includes either buy-side or sell-side financial analysts. As for the market research analyst and marketing specialist roles, USCIS defines their job duties as gathering and analyzing data, such as consumer demographics and buying habits, in order to help a company market its products or services. They might also research competitors' pricing and marketing methods, and advise on new markets and opportunities. Market research analysts and marketing specialists might also develop advertising materials, such as brochures or commercials. Again, these job duties fall outside the scope of what USCIS believes an economist on a TN Visa should primarily be doing. So what do you do if you want to come to the US to work as a financial analyst, a market research analyst, or as a marketing specialist? One approach could be to work with your employer to more closely align your job duties with those that are acceptable to USCIS. If your employer is willing to modify your job duties, this could be a good approach. You might also consider whether your job duties fit under another TN job category. For example, a marketing specialist whose specialty is in the real estate industry and who wants to come to the US to advise a real estate company on how it can improve its profitability through, among other things, more effectively engaging with its target market, might consider applying under the management consultant job category. If you're considering this approach, we recommend that you take some time to watch our separate video on the management consultant category, which involves its own set of unique requirements. Finally, you might consider visas other than the TN, such as the H-1B, the L-1, or the O-1 visas. Depending on your circumstances, each of these visa options could be an appropriate option for you if you primarily work as a financial analyst, market research analyst, or marketing specialist. We hope this video was helpful. If it was, please help us out and click the like and subscribe buttons below to stay updated on future videos about visa options and travel to the US. Thanks for watching.